my garden. Laura here from Hedgehog's Homestead. I just thought I'd give you a quick garden tour, and of course I have to start in my front garden because I've changed some things. And one of the things that we're growing pumpkins, and they are looking fantastic. These ones are starting to dry off. Just beautiful white pumpkins here. Really enjoying them. And then we planted our grasses. Those are starting to come up. We took out our zinnias. And so the front garden is just looking a little less. I got to add some mulch to cover. I put a new hose in there and got to do some weeding. But enjoying the lovely front garden with the lamian. I think it's lamian. Something like that. Anyways, it was in a wild seed package, so I'll show you up close so you guys can see my front garden. My roses are blooming. These roses need to be cut back. We have had some deer nibbling on our roses lately, but I just wanted to show you guys this in the changes that we made in the front bin. Got to get this paper out of here. And that's the new hose, and I actually like it a lot better. When I took the zinnias out of here, of course I had to nick some of the old hose that was in there. Some lettuce greens. I like to do lettuce greens in a stalk like this because you can put them together and they can grow together. So we have romaine and Bib lettuce in here, and they're doing fantastic, coming up nice and growing close together so that we can do the cut and come again thing with our lettuce. And I'm planning to get another one if it ever arrives and put our strawberries in it and do the same thing. Just have them close to the house so they're easy to collect and do that kind of thing with. And also in our front garden, our azaleas are blooming beautifully in and out. Isn't that a pretty flower right there? Got some fall stuff here. I picked those actually out of our vegetable garden to add some color over here. Of course, some nice red mums for the fall. Are in the garden bed over here. I finally have a fence around it, and I'm going to show you. I just kind of came upon this. Sorry, Fred's talking a lot right now. We put one of our electric fences around the garden, and even though I don't have a charger for it, it is charged. And I'll show you how I did that on purpose on accident. I kind of had the idea it might work by watching just a lot of homesteading videos, and it worked. So maybe you guys can use this trick too. Didn't have to buy anything. It is charged, and now the dogs can't get in my garden to eat things. Poor Norman got shocked this morning. So they are learning to stay away. Now let's show you what's growing in there, and I'll show you how I accomplished that, that this fence is actually charged. And maybe now I can grow peas and things like that, and the rabbits won't get in here. So far, so good. So let's see what's happening. So I have a little droop here, so I very carefully step over it because otherwise I would have to go and turn it off over by the ducks and the geese. Now let's show you what's growing in here. We have kohlrabi, and that's over there. I don't know what that is. I forgot. Rabbits got some of it. They enjoyed eating it. This is probably going to come out of these beds. This is sweet potatoes. Never came to fruition because of our rabbit problem. And now I have coming up here and there. I tried kind of an experiment with this bed. I have a lot of grass in this bed, so what I did is I put the carrot seeds under grass because they like to have something to keep them nice and moist. And so that's what I did in this bed, and it worked halfway. So the grass covers the seed because they don't like a lot of light when they're germinating either. And it helps keep it moist. And they like a lot of, they don't like the wind pressure either. So if weeds come up around carrots, it's really hard on them. So having it nicely mulched helps with that weed pressure as well. Carrots have been kind of my vein of as far as gardening. It's just been really hard for me to get that done right for carrots. Now, over here, underneath these containers, you can see I got peas here, and I've tried some fencing like this here, and actually have more loofah trying to come up. But under these, this is how I'm starting most of my crops here for fall, is that I have these jugs of tea, and I'm starting them out underneath the jugs to deal with the pest pressure. Now this is celery. So I just planted them this week, and they have grown up a little bit bigger. They were looking really sad at the store. So underneath each one of these is celery. I put diatomaceous earth on them, even though I had these. This one's looking really great. And even better as you go along. So I just have them covered up, and maybe I won't have to do that if I'm not seeing any rabbit pressure, but it seems to help with bugs too. And so that's kind of a new method that I just kind of took on as something to learn to do. So, and Norm just discovered that the fence is lit up again. Unfortunately, my poor dogs, but they really get in here and eat a lot of stuff. So, so over here, we have broccoli and peas, and the broccoli's looking okay. That one's looking better than that one. That one looks like it needs a little help with some feeding. It looks a little yellow on the outside. So maybe we've got some pests on here, or it just needs a little, I don't know, food. So we got the peas on there, and then of course behind here we have our okra that is doing fantastic and has not given up the ghost yet. And under here we have some more broccoli. That's cauliflower, and that has been chewed on by something. I don't know what it is. Something that's getting through this. And then this is broccoli. And of course this is the bed that I got the marigolds from to put in the front yard, and I could probably put that one somewhere too, this one right here. This is, over here we're growing for the fall, which is the best time of year to grow cilantro. Of course, there's some weeds showing up, which I need to get out of here. But this is all cilantro here. And then, yeah, just all cilantro coming in here, which is fantastic. We love our cilantro here at Hedgehog's Homestead. And then in this bed, we have some peas and more broccoli. growing under here. We have 3 more in here. Probably could put them a little closer together, but it's okay. And then peas are doing fantastic. And then when you look up here, we have loofah galore. And they're doing fantastic. They're starting, some of them are starting to get hard, and then you got a brand new one right here still coming on, because it is technically still warm enough. We're having days in the 80s still, but the nights are cooler. So these should finish up soon, and then I'll cut them down as soon as they kind of, like this one's getting a little bit brown. It's getting nice and hard. You want to cut them up when this end falls off really easy, and this is kind of a brown color. And so that's when we will cut those off and take down this whole trellis and move it to another space in the garden for spring crops, because we don't want to put vine crops in the same space every year. You want to kind of move that around. I have a feeling we'll still get a lot of vine pests, because there was a lot, and this was the first year that we had a vine crop in this space. So usually it takes about a year for them to catch up on where you're going, but we had plenty of them this year, so it was a real challenge. So over here, is this whole bed is carrots, and of course every day I go in and I weed what is in a carrot. And carrots do not like to deal with any other pressures as far as, you know, for space. So the carrots are doing really well. I keep this bed pretty moist. It's pretty dry right now. When I'm done this video, I'll water it again. Because I do have a lot of tiny little starts. At first I thought this bed was a failure. I put all kinds of wood over and made sure that it was all growing just nice, and unfortunately it didn't come up as well as I thought it would. So I just kept on, I didn't give up on it. I just kept it as moist as I would for all kinds of starts. When you have starts, you really want to take your time to keep those beds moist. And so I've continued to do that, and then I have all these little baby starts coming up everywhere. Even though they weren't under, you know, dark areas, they kind of moved with the, you know, where the water, so I don't have perfect rows or anything like that. But I am not worried about it, because I have lots of carrots coming in, and we love carrots here at the homestead. Our dogs eat carrots, and so they get them as treats, and we love eating them and putting them in soups and things, of course. And so we're excited. We'll grow a bunch next year again, and these will probably overwinter as much as possible, and I will grow them every season, every part of the season, as much as I can. So just because we use that many carrots, we go through a large bag twice a week. So yeah, so I'll be growing as many carrots as I can. And in this bed I have more peas here, and I can see that there was some of these peas that were, you know, bit off on the top. They'll still grow. That's the nice thing about peas. Hopefully that wasn't a rabbit. Well, hopefully it was a rabbit, and I missed them, and not a cutworm that will, they like to do that too. If you see, cutworms will literally chop off your vegetable, and it looks like just a nub coming out of the ground, and that's how what cutworms do. So if you're ever wondering what does that, rodents will do that, rabbits will do that, and so of course cutworms. So we have lots of loofah growing here too. This was a plant that kind of came on later on, and of course it's still flowering. And isn't that amazing? I don't know if you guys could see that. A bee just landed on here as I was holding the flower. So wow, that was really cool. These are carpenter bees, I believe. And they're not really our friends, but they are our friends. So we have a carpenter bee trap by the house, but I don't worry about it because they pollinate my stuff, you know. So got plenty of loofahs here, and then of course I added peas along the bottom of this trellis as well for the fall, because I really thought that we were done all our vine crops. We went through lots and lots of cucumbers that came up through here, and so the loofahs came on a lot later, and so it was really nice to have this covering and have these late loofahs come in. They are just the funnest thing to grow, because you're growing a sponge basically. They are edible, but we don't eat them because they are very fibrous. But if you catch them while they're really young, like maybe this big around, they are edible. So if you are in a place where you need the food, they are definitely edible. So, but otherwise I dry them out and take the seeds out of them and take the husk off. I dry them out completely so that the skin is like kind of crumbly. You want them to dry out as much as they can on the vine, but if you're just having too much wet weather, you can cut them off and take them inside and put them in a dry, cool space and let them just dry completely. And then you peel off the rind later. You can put it in some water, peel off the rind later. And what I do is, if there's dark spots on the rind at all, I bleach that. So they're just a lot of fun if you can grow them. I tried to grow them in Oregon and got a few, but not like here in Tennessee where I'm just overwhelmed with them. So you can see a beautiful broccoli start that I started a week before the other ones. And thanks to Janice from Where to Begin Homestead, she taught me what to feed my starts with, and it's working out beautifully. So thank you, Janice, for the tip. And I'll leave a link to her garden or her channel below. She has a really good homesteading channel, and she's grown vegetables and stuff professionally. So she's just a really good resource and a good gardener to watch. So I'll leave a link below. And isn't that beautiful? I actually think this is cabbage, this one here. So exciting. And I'm using the bug net, and that's really helping me out this year too. And I also have these two right here, and these ones are broccoli here and here. And then in this bed, this is garlic here, and they have started to come up. I soaked the I separated, of course, the clove, and then soaked it in kale, or I soaked it in what did I soak it in? I'll show you a picture of what I soaked it in, guys. I can't remember the name of it right now. It escapes me, but anyway, so I'll show you what I soaked it in, and then there's 4 different varieties in here. The whole bed is full, and the whole bed is coming up. That is okay. They say sometimes people say, well, you need to clip these down because it's too early and all of that stuff. Don't worry about it. What you need to do though is, if it comes up green like this before the season, mulch it. I did a lot of things to amend these beds because they are very hungry. So I am learning a lot about garlic, and just spending a lot of time researching how I can grow them properly, because I've never got them very big. So watch and see how far these guys go. It's exciting. Right now we have 4 varieties in the bed, and they are early heirloom, something red. I can't pronounce that one. California white and Oregon blue in this bed, and very excited to see how those come up. I don't know if you guys can see the heads very clear, but there's what they look like, and we'll get some mulch on that as soon as we can. And then over here, in these beds that are falling apart, they're just old pools. But of course, because we are in Tennessee, the sun is very harsh. And I must have missed some potatoes because I had some potatoes growing in here. And I did miss a kind of tiny ones. And I'm just gonna rip these out of here, even though I'm getting potatoes. Okay, maybe I'll keep them. I don't know. But we'll give these to the chickens. I really don't need any more potatoes. And plus I'm planning to grow those in deeper beds. And this is cilantro here. So we have a lot of cilantro growing here and then back behind me. And we love cilantro. We do Taco Tuesday on Saturdays every day around here. And so it's just nice to have a lot of cilantro for that. So we'll give these to the birds over here. And then this bed over here, this was lavender. I have some going to seed, so I'm going to keep that. This is chives. I got rosemary in the middle. And this is mint. A lot of people say don't grow spearmint, but I'm growing it in the container on purpose so that it doesn't go everywhere. If it does, it keeps pests away, so I'll just deal with it. And in this bed, I have some, this is the bed that, I put a lot of, these clothes and stuff under here. This bed is the bed that I was growing onions in. My onions, so I fed it a lot, and it obviously loves what I fed the onions in. And then I put bone meal and what did I put in here? Bone meal and blood meal, and they are looking absolutely fantastic. I've never had cabbage look this way, and so we will keep the net on there and just keep on letting it grow. So usually my cabbage has always been eaten up. So we're excited to have some good cabbage on the homestead. And it's looking absolutely gorgeous. And then over here is where I have strawberries and just some other soil. This is where I want to get the strawberries out of here and move them and get rid of these 2 containers and that container as well. And then I'll add some of this soil too in here. It's great soil, so I don't want to get rid of it. It's actually excellent soil. Everything that grows in here does really well. And then I'm going to collect the seeds from these marigolds here. So I have marigolds every year. And then over here we have some more broccoli, looking fantastic. And I've been using the same methods that I'm using for the cauliflower. Well, not cauliflower, sorry, for the cabbage. And it is looking fantastic. So I'm going to keep on doing that. There's mint in here as well. Something is eating at this. It looks like some kind of a caterpillar. So I'm probably going to have to come in here tonight and put some more diatomaceous earth on here. But otherwise, they're looking really good. So just tucking that in. Hopefully no more other things will come in here. So got a lot of extra twill. And of course my turkey's out, Polly's out. Please excuse the noise a little bit. It's really hard to keep these guys quiet. That's Huey and Louie in the background. And what I wanted to show you is this is how I charged my green net without an extra charger. I have a Pier 1 net behind me that I have around my birds because we have a lot of coyotes and bobcats and things like that. So I had to have an electric net around these birds. Now what I've done is I put these two nets next to each other, and I needed help to hold this green net up. And I don't know what brand this green net is, unfortunately, but they all basically work the same way. And so what I did is, if you look real quick here on the top, where these two nets come together, right here, I'll take a picture of that and keep it over here so you guys can see it. Need to catch Polly and put her back in. Polly got out and flew into my garden this morning, so we had to clip her wings. And then she got away from me because the dogs were close by and it freaked her out. So we're going to put her back in. She'll go back in now that she's getting tired and she wants some water. Pretty simply, I'll chase her around in a few minutes. So what we did is we connected those two together. So the wire, the top wire from that fence is touching the top wire from this fence. And I have them, there's a little groove in between on top of the fence posts on that fence and on mine. And they're touching. So this fence, this charger that we have over here, the solar charger, is now charging both of our fences. And unfortunately, that's why, Norman tried to get in here and then got zapped. But my dogs have been real pests in my garden because they do eat vegetables. They like to help themselves to the okra. And my okra looks really spindly and not full because they just will go up there, and because they can't reach the okra, they'll pull down the plant and break the limb that it's on and break the plant. Plus they were stealing tomatoes and peppers, bell peppers, and just other things in the garden. So it was kind of sad. And then we had rabbits getting in here as well. So we really needed an electric fence around the garden. And now I got to go around and just kind of trim it up with a weed whacker and get everything far away from the fence. But so far, it's working almost as well as it was plugged into it itself. You can hear the connection, and the dogs can hear the connection. If you go over by where the two fences, I made sure that I connected the ends. Here you have the two ends that come together, just like you would put your red charging thing on there that connect your battery and everything. You would have a clamp that would come down on here. Made sure that those were together, and so the whole fence is connected together and then connected to that fence, and it's hot. So we are very excited about that, and just something that needed to happen. So we're very thankful, and I hope you guys enjoyed my garden tour and how I connected these fences together. God bless you guys, and we'll see you next time here on Hedgehog's Homestead. Bye.